Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Chai Tea podcast. Before we get started, let us introduce ourselves. I'm Arcena and I stream on Twitch, mostly Pokemon content and mostly shiny hunting content. And my co host for this podcast is Timetofeelalive, also known as Sam.
Hello, that is me. I also stream on Twitch. Sporadically. I have a lot going on in my life, so it's not as quite as consistent as I'd like it to be. But I'm there. I have a YouTube channel too, Time to Feel Alive, as Arcena said, and I do Pokemon content. A bit of shiny hunting, some Nuzlocks, and all that kind of stuff. But recently, both of us have been a little bit obsessed with
Obsessed
a
is
game called
probably
TCG Pocket.
understating it.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever we have like a new set as we have today, or we just it's all we talk about, which is mainly why I decided we should start this podcast. I pitched the idea to Sam, and here we are.
Here we are, TCG Pocket. What are we like? Over 6 months in now to this game, and like it just hasn't dropped off for me. I
Yeah,
don't know about you.
it hasn't dropped off for me either. And then they've added ranked, and as annoying as ranked is, right? It's what I enjoy the most. It's gotten me
Yeah,
to thinking that what did we used to do before rank came out? How do we play battles against people when there was no ranked? Because I don't know if I told you this, but I got to Master Ball last season, right? And I stopped there because I kind of deranked a lot. And then I had one good session and I went back up to Master Ball and I stopped playing. And when I wanted to play Pocket again, I thought I'll do unranked battles and trying out different fun decks. I got bored of each deck after like 2 or 3 games, whereas before ranked or during ranked, I could use the same deck over and over and over again, especially the meta ones that Sam loves, right? You love the meta decks.
yeah. Let's not get into that just yet. But I know what you mean. Yeah. With ranked, like you can just keep grinding it out because there's like a goal in mind, right? You're trying to get to where you want to be, Master Ball or top 10k or Ultra Ball or whatever your aim is. But with just playing unranked, you're messing around with it. You're not you don't have a goal. You're just like what 15 experience points. It's kind of like whatever.
And I think both
Just
of
killing
us have
time.
reached level 50, right? So, um,
Hmm.
yeah, I hope the experience stacks. I really do.
Yeah. Hopefully one day we'll expand that to level 100, but we'll see. We will see. Before we get really deep into TCG Pocket, that is what the focus of this podcast is going to be. TCG Pocket for now. Maybe we'll expand into other topics down the line, but right now it's what we both really enjoy. So why not talk about it?
Yeah, especially with a day like today, which is why we've chosen to do our first episode today. As of recording this, the new set is about, I want to say, 9, 10 hours old. I think we've both opened up enough packs, I would say, because we both are premium pass enjoyers, but I think we don't really overly spend on the game, except for maybe 1 or 2 occasions.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I've gone through the whole set list, and I've managed to pull kind of like the so for me at least, uh, when I look at a set, the main how many ever cards, so that's up to the 4 diamonds, 1 diamond, 2 diamond, 3 and 4. That is what I call set completion. So going forward, and for this podcast or anywhere else, when I say I have completed a set, I generally mean the main set up to the 4 diamonds. Um, and I don't really chase secret rares because it doesn't seem to be like you're never going to be able to finish a secret rare set, right?
If they add like trading for those cards someday, maybe. But for now, yeah, it's like 3 diamond, 4 diamond, 1 star. That'll do me for this set.
And
Even
I
though I haven't
also
completed the last one yet.
I also kind of I have the immersive as a slightly chase goal. Like those are the packs that
Yeah,
I'm still looking forward to opening because like I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the immersives is what sets TCG Pocket apart from regular TCG. I mean, I know there's a lot of differences, but I think TCG Pocket's thing is mainly the immersive cards, right?
I feel like that's the main like collector difference, right? When people play TCG Pocket to collect cards, they want those immersives because you can't get that as a physical card, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, as a competitive thing, it's very different.
Yeah, competitive. Like it's quite surprising how into the competitive scene I've gotten with TCG Pocket. I mean, I do like competitive in games in general, whether it's Pokemon or in this case TCG Pocket. But I also thought after the first season of Ranked that with the way the rank system was, when you can drop out of Master Ball, I thought that I probably wouldn't grind out the ranks as much. But I have been wrong. I still like to play rank, and even with this set, which we'll get to, I'm looking out for like the meta cards, what could potentially be the new meta, and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's literally like every set since the beginning, me and you have just been messaging each other about what we think is going to be the new meta, what we think is the best card, what we think is going to be the worst card, how wrong I am every time I think a card's going to be the new meta.
Yeah, yeah. It's I think over the last three or wait, is this set six now? Yeah, I think it would be right. We had A1, A1A, A2, A2A, A2B. No, this is set seven, I think. Yeah, this is set number
Yeah.
seven. I think Sam got one of it right. Just the rare candy.
Oh yeah, I mean that was a pretty a pretty big freebie that one. Everybody could tell that Rare Candy was going to be a massive game changer.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
coming to the meta cards of our current season here. Let me pull that up for you guys at the set list.
Yeah, let's
Uh,
get into the new set.
yeah. So we've got all the set list here, starting from. Let's get to our first card, our first big card. I would say Buzzwole EX is probably going to be meta this season. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I'm not overly convinced. I mean, obviously, this guy still gets one shot by either Charizard. Whether that's still going to be part of the meta, I don't know. But like, uh, big beat, being able to attack and then not being able to attack. I mean, obviously, it goes well with is it Celesteela? I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Being able to retreat for free into another Ultra Beast that works really well. But I don't know. I'm yet to be convinced by this guy. It's strong. Punch is kind of there as well. If you aren't able to retreat. But other than that, I just think yeah, there's other cards in this set that I'm more excited for.
I mean, the way I see it, right, is let me see if I can get you another card here. Um, Sorry about that. That There we go. We're back on the set list. Apologies for that. The way I see it, right? Um, Let me see, what card was I gonna look at. You see this Pheromosa card here, right? This
Yeah, yeah.
does 20 plus 20. So you're already, I think Buzzwole is meant to be like this late game 120, 140 with Darkrai, 160 with Red. I think those are
True.
the numbers.
He does one
So
shot Darkrai, which is nice.
yeah. And then you got another set which is Katana. Oh, also really quickly, I think this is common knowledge by this point, but Sam pointed out to me that all the Ultra Beast attacks are different genres of music,
Yeah.
which is quite interesting. Each and every one of them is a genre. I think it has been fact checked. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, this Katana, it's one energy 40. At first, I was like, it has 60 HP. I don't know. But
I like
then,
it.
but then, if you think about it this way, we have Leaf Cape. Leaf Cape gives it 90 HP. It can attack
Hmm.
on your first attacking turn, whether you're going. I mean, if you're going third, it helps you because it's just one energy. If you're going second, it knocks out an opposing Gibble. I mean, now with the rise of Carnivine, there are not a lot of fighting Gibbles going on. But if there was a potential fighting card with a grass weakness, it probably knocks it out as long as you don't give it 70 HP.
Yeah, I mean, you're straight up doing 60 damage to Darkrai as well with it. Uh, Combine that with red, that's 80 damage. Combine that with a new tool card in this set, you could potentially do 100 damage to Darkrai.
Yeah, so I guess, and then I guess it works well with Buzzwole. Speaking of the tool card, yeah, let me get all the way to the tool cards for you. I assume you're talking about the Beastite, aren't you? Where we got a plus 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a really interesting card. I mean, it's kind of like you're already winning when you're using it to its like fullest potential. So it's kind of good, kind of I don't know. Are you going to really need it at that point? You're already on the up. Maybe it's a good finisher, good way to finish the match. But I'm not too convinced by it. I like it. I think you need maybe one in your deck if you're running Ultra Beasts. But I probably wouldn't double it up in a deck, to be honest.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know how you feel.
I don't know. Plus 10 is significant because a lot of break points,
Mm,
but I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. I've only played. Obviously, I couldn't pull a lot of cards to actually play it in like against a PvP. But I think I did one of the solo. Some of the solo battles, the AI is kind of wonky. But some of them they actually play quite well. When I first saw this card, I was like, "Whoa! It does plus 10 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon for each point you've gotten." But then you got to get a point. By then, don't you have most of your board set up? I think this is most like it's probably going to be an early game cleanup. Early game
early
cleanup, I
game.
guess.
I mean, if you're trying to play super aggressive, yeah, I would much prefer it if it was for each point your opponent's gotten, but that's just me.
Would I guess don't we have a? Isn't there a card that is like that in this set already? Lucamine. Yeah. You see, if your opponent's
Okay,
gotten at least 1 point, so we do have
yeah,
a card that's like that. Um, and this, speaking of this, Lucamine is going to be, I guess, I don't want to put it out there, but I think it's going to be very important for every single Ultra Beast deck that you are planning on running because it puts 2 random energy from your discard pile into that Pokemon. It,
absolutely.
it pairs really well
Like,
with the other featured Ultra Beast EX, which we can talk about a little bit shortly after we're done with discussing Buzzwole's place in the meta. But this is really, really important.
yeah, you need to have this in your Ultra Beast decks, right? Like every single one of them pretty much needs two or more to attack. Well, maybe not Naganadel, but most of the good ones do. Um, yeah, Lucamine, very strong. And to be honest, even if you don't need two energy to attack, just being able to bang out an energy on it, like
Yeah,
for
it's a plus.
three,
It's a
once
plus
you have a
one,
point,
right? The
and your
plus
opponent
one.
has a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why would you not use it for sure?
Yeah, that's yeah. So that's what I was thinking. So the way a Buzzwole could work is you run a Pheromosa or Katana or both, depending on what you want. Because I think Katana will give you a straight 40 to single target. I guess
Hmm.
Pheromosa does the same. Does it have a little bit more HP? I'm not too sure. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, 10
It
HP more.
it has
10
10
HP more.
HP more. So maybe depends on your kind of play style if you're gonna just keep targeting the bench or not. I guess with Cyrus it becomes something to work around. But I think the way I think Lucamine is gonna help a Buzzwole EX deck is you either have two of these, two each of either of them, or one each, and then this does your constant 40 and 40. I'm guessing, are there any cards that can do 70 in one turn that's a basic, like on your turn one? I'm not able
Uh,
to think of anything.
Not without flipping coins, I don't think.
Yeah. So you get
Or
you
super
get
effective damage.
yeah, so you get 2 turns if you're running into non-super effective, non-RNG based matchups of 40 damage. Then you send out your Katana. I think Katana is more susceptible to losing it in one hit. I guess 50 plus Giovanni knocks out Katana, but we don't see
Mhm.
Giovanni a lot these days, right? Um, and then by then you have your 2 energy already in the bench. Then I think you use Lucamine, and then you put it onto Buzzwole EX. That seems like a play. I've
Yeah.
seen people saying that Celestila, if you play this properly, you can get Buzzwole to attack back to back.
It would be switching a Buzzwole into a Buzzwole, right?
Yes. Or would it
Hmm.
be, does this work? Because again, the set is really new, and I guess we should be knowing this. But what I was thinking was this might require, so if we're going to use two Katana or Pheromosa, it's two Pokemon, Buzzwole's another two, four. Yeah, I guess six Pokemon is good enough. Two Celesteelas on your bench, right? You you swap your Celesteela with your Buzzwole, or any Ultra Beast with your Buzzwole, and then use the second Celesteela to swap again.
Ooh,
But I
would that
guess,
work? I know you can't retreat twice, but that's using an ability twice.
yeah,
So,
but it says once during your turn.
yeah.
But if you
Hmm.
remember, go back to the Crobat card from what's that? Whatever set, the Arcea set, Triumphant Light, I think.
Yeah.
The Crobat also says once during your turn, you could do that. I'm just checking
Oh,
that
and you
really
could do it
quickly while.
twice if you had two on the bench.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Interesting. Well, I mean, that's just something we're gonna have to find out by playing, I guess.
yeah, I didn't have enough cards today to test that out, and
No.
yeah.
I actually pulled the full art Celesteela, so that's kind of cool.
Speaking of full
Really cool
arts,
full art
do
as
we
well.
like full art cards? Do we like full art
Yeah,
cards? I mean,
I like the one star full arts. Not a big fan of the regular two-star full arts. Never really cared for those. Although the trainers are cool, or the supporters even. And then the rainbow ones look. Some of them can look amazing. And then shinies are, well, they're there.
I've said it to you quite a lot of times that shinies kind of irritate me because we're pulling a new set, right? I guess if they were shinies of the same set, maybe they're a
Then I'd
little
be
bit
fine with it.
better. The shinies of a
Yeah,
previous
agreed.
set that more see Pokemon is power creep is real in Pokemon, right? You've played
Hmm.
competitive in the mainline video games, so have I. Power creep is quite a big deal. If you see
Yeah,
the early IRL TCG cards, they have 40 HP, 10 damage. I don't think IRL
yeah.
TCG cards have that anymore, do they? I mean, they
No,
might, but they're probably
no.
no good.
They have been power crept to oblivion.
So, like, that's shinies annoy me. And it's funny, we both started, or not started, but we both stream on Twitch shiny hunting. And you think this would appeal to us, but unfortunately, it doesn't.
No, when you're trying to build decks and stuff, it's just frustrating to pull something that's not really usable anymore. That said, there is one card that I would love to get as a shiny in this set, the
And
shiny Greninja, because it looks amazing and it's still pretty usable, I'd assume.
oh,
And wait, it was very usable in the last season of Ranked. I assume it's still pretty viable.
I guess with rare candy, you could put it. You could ping the 20, and then you could move. You could move. I mean, I guess with Cyrus and a big line, big swing EX attacker, Greninja could always be viable. Really quickly to
Hmm.
interrupt this, by the way, I looked at the Crobat card, and it is on the Crobat card. It says once during your turn, if you have Arceus or Arceus EX in play, you may do 30 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. I remember when I was running the Arceus Crobat Carnivine deck last season, I did have two Crobat on the bench, and I'm pretty sure I hit it twice with,
You absolutely do. I can fully confirm that.
yeah, it's just
100%.
30-30, which means I think the Celesteela, the text is for, I think, for that Celesteela as one of them. So I think that's how we would get Buzzwole in and out to swing twice for 120. It means that's two Darkrai's gone.
Okay, okay, that's pretty cool. You've convinced me on Boswell EX, and I think we've spoken about it quite enough, so we could probably move on
To
to the next one.
the next one I had in mind is this a little Pokemon. I guess they're not Pokemon, they're alien Pokemon. I don't know. Called Guzzlord EX. Your very
Oh
own
baby,
personal TRG or Team Rocket Grunt. Uh yeah, thoughts.
I think for me, when they showed the trailer, this guy was the standout. Like this big beast, 170 HP for a basic is just absurd. Um, and obviously, like first attack is ridiculous. Like 2 energy to do Team Rocket is wild, especially being colorless. So you can just chuck this guy into any deck. Don't worry about the dark energy. Just bang on whatever energy and just spam grindcore and just make frustrate the hell out of your opponent. Um, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, obviously very weak to Meowscarada. It's scared the hell of that cat, but I I really want to try this guy out. I haven't pulled it yet. I haven't pulled any forms of it, unfortunately. But like, I think it's going to be beast. I think it's also probably going to slot straight into freaking Dark Tina, which is also not fun.
Don't you think
But
that would ruin Dark Tina though? Because that would have an extra basic you're trying to pull. Because I remember, do you remember the Oricorio days when I ran the Komala in the Dark Tina deck to get the 70 against the Oricorio? It was
yeah,
quite frustrating when there was no Oricorio on the bench. You only have two Pokeballs, and one of them gives you. So let's say you start with a Darkrai. You want your Pokeball to ideally give you Giratina so you can power them both up together. But your first Pokeball, fine, okay, gives you another Darkrai, no problem. Before I added Komala, using both my Pokeballs, I think guarantees me one each of both. But with Komala added to it, there was a chance I would get Komala, which was
weird. From
frustrating. But no, this is definitely going to be quite a pain to deal with.
I mean, you could just drop the Tina and add the Lord, so you could have Dark Lord, and just it would just be so frustrating because if you pull Guzzlord first, you get 2 energy on it, you could just frustrate the opponent, slow them the hell down, have Darkrai on the bench, powering him up, doing extra damage, doing chip while you're doing 30 damage plus getting rid of potential energy each turn is it's absurd for me. We'll see how it pans out. It'll probably be getting countered so hard by the
Meowscarada.
powerful grass decks that are going to come into this. I'm not just Meowscarada, Buzzwole, like you said, he's going to be pretty meta potentially. Katana, Veramosa, Decidueye. I mean, there's so many things that can
Oh,
counter it. In fact, like,
Pheromosa Decidueye could be something that people use because I really wish I'd pulled more cards to be able to test this out. But
hmm,
I don't think, can you choose where the 20 goes from Pheromosa?
it says it does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench
I
Pokemon, which
remember
means you get to pick.
another card earlier, right? You could pick where you put the extra. I think the Escavalier. You could pick where I think it did 30 plus 20 to the bench, and you could pick where you put the 20.
Yeah, that's definitely what Pheromosa does as well. I think you can see the new Decidueye. He does a 70 damage to your opponent's Pokemon, which or to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So that means you can choose it. I'm pretty sure.
The new disc. Right, yeah, this attack does 70 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So I think that would be the
Which completely
play.
counters. He counters or Ikorio, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, because they put it in the bench, you put it down, and then you knock it out.
hmm
Yeah. Oh, so this attack also does 20 damage. I think you can select according to the text that I'm reading here. I could be wrong. But
Yeah,
that's
I'm
that's
I'm convinced.
that's gonna Pheromosa Decidueye is going to be probably a new off meta deck or not off meta, but a new fun deck combining the two, and then attacking our friend the Dustbin, Guzzlord,
Yeah,
Space Dustbin.
base dustbin. How dare you say that about him? Um,
But
I'm excited
it
for
still
him.
requires three hits. The first 20 to go on the bench Guzzlord. Then you bring in your yeah, I don't know if it works because I think with Guzzlord's retreat cost, you've got to be very brave to run it without Celesteela.
Yeah, I mean the idea I had as soon as I saw Guzzlord was combining him with Solgaleo, and then you can just jump Solgaleo into the main spot, can't you? Because you can teleport with Cosmog if you haven't got Solgaleo yet. Get Guzzlord in there, big wall, grindcore to slow people down until you get your Solgaleos. Bang bang, they can bounce in, do big damage. Guzzlord can grindcore. You can maybe even chuck two freaking Team Rocket Grunts in there as well. Is it Team Rocket Grunt?
Yes, yes. The one that discards
Yeah,
energy, right? Yeah.
it would be a very frustrating deck to play against, and I want to try it out.
I mean, I would not expect anything less. Wait, that's the way to say that,
hmm
right? Not
hmm
expect anything less. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
The other cards that are exciting is the poison tech that we got with this set with
hmm
Naganadel,
However you say it.
and Nihilego.
Yep, sure. Let's go with that.
Or Nihilego? You know what? That doesn't matter. Uh,
I'm gonna leave it to you. I'm not even gonna try.
the jellyfish Lusamine Pokemon. How's that sound?
hmm
Yeah,
Perfect.
cool. It says your opponent's active takes. So this does stack. I know this stacks, so you can do up to 30 with poison.
Oh, really? Oh, you could
Yes,
do 40 with Toxicroak.
yes, you could, but come on, are you gonna run
No one's
Toxicroak?
using that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say that, and then there's gonna be somewhere down the line a Toxicroak deck wins some tournament or does well in ranked,
And then
and
everybody's using it.
yeah, but yeah, that also helps you with Guzzlord because although Nag Poipol's evolution, uh, is a stage one, so it takes a while to get it. Uh, but it's still one energy, and then I don't think you are adding. I think Nihi, the jellyfish Pokemon, is sitting in the bench. I don't think you're attaching energy there. So maybe
Yeah, you want to just have him sat there.
that is your Guzzlord Lusamine tech.
Potentially, potentially. I don't really like Naganadel. One, I don't like Poipole because two coin flips for potential damage. You could just use nothing. It's never fun. Um, then I mean, you could say that about Alolan Diglett and Alolan Dugtrio as well
When I
while
saw
they're on
this
screen.
when I saw this Duck Trio card, right, I was like, this is a card that you could be really interested in.
Me, I hate coin flips. I would never be using this. This guy's just a worse. What was the coin flip we got from the last set?
Crabomin, not Crabominable. Last set is
What's this
which
one?
one is it? Celestial Guardians.
Yeah,
I'll have a look while you go on about your coin flips.
but it's just worse than a card we had from the last set. So I don't know why we'd bother using this Alolan Dugtrio, to be honest. The poor
Tinkerton was
guy.
2 sets ago, unless you're talking about that.
I don't think it was Tinkerton. There was some coin flip one. Oh, no, not Goldango. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not good. Let's not talk about it.
All right, so Alolan Duck Trio. I'm sorry, but Sam does not like you. I do not think you will be. Oh, you know what's funny? You say that, right? Do you want to know in my 17 or 18 packs I pulled today, what was my only EX I got? Not including the
Alolan
Buzzwole Immersive.
Dugtrio.
Yeah. Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. I know.
uh,
Now that we've said that as well, I'm going to pull like 15 of these things. Um, for me, the only EX I got. Oh, and actually, no, I got two. I got two. I got Tapu Koko, which looks like an okay card in this set. We'll have to see how it plays out. Maybe with one of the new items that we might talk about in a bit. And then I got Lycanroc EX 2-star non-rainbow, and then I got Lycanroc EX 2-star rainbow.
oh wow, that is. See, that's the thing about the rainbow cards, right? They're beautiful. Like from Triumphant Light, right? I really, really enjoyed the Garchomp card, but I would have just liked two of every other EX, and then we just move on.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I mean, the game's pretty much decided what I'm going to be running for a bit. I'm going to have to make some kind of fighting deck. I mean, Lycanroc EX with the Rockruff that calls its evolution plus Rampardos could work.
But
So I might mess with that for a
you have
while.
to discard an energy from Lycanroc, and that
But that
just
kind of works with Rampardos because he only takes one energy, so it kind of vibes.
uh if it but with Lycanroc, sorry, if it Lycanroc, you keep attaching energy, right? You got to keep on attaching and attaching. You speak about not Lycanroc. You speak about Rampardos, right? This is going a little bit
Hmm.
off our EX topic, but I show you this card. Have you seen this card? As long as this Pokemon is in the
Um,
active spot, attacks used by your opponent's active Pokemon cause one colorless energy more. It's like the
Super
Oranguru
interesting.
from the last set, but
Very interesting.
so where this fails to work is it only fails to work in the case where you don't already have an energy on your Rampardos before you bring it in, which is what the Lycanroc will make us do. But for a one energy is just two. Provided you get your energy, you ramp up, you use low cost energy cards, it's not going to be difficult to add that second, right? And Rampardos just knocks it
True.
out in one hit.
Plus, oh, I was about to say he doesn't have to be in the active spot, but then I read the ability. No, I like it. I'm a fan. For things like I think it's a really good counter to like Giratina and Darkrai too, because they are slow to build up energy, right? So having to give them like an extra energy to put on can really slow those down.
And especially Dark
Um,
Tina runs in Darkrai decks only running Darkness Energy. So if you have to
yep.
add an extra, oh, it's colorless. You can just add the Dark Energy, so you don't have to bellow again extra
No,
turn. So you just add a
never mind.
Darkness Energy.
Yeah, it still slows them down. And he's colorless, right? So you can use what
Stage
was it?
two
Who's
though,
the, yeah, stage two, which isn't ideal, but you can still stop yourself from losing a point by using Ilima. There we go. I should pull it out of my brain somehow.
or as we love to call it, our good friend Liam.
Yeah, the English version. Yeah, no, I like Stoutland. I'm excited to see how he does. It's not going to be meta, but it could be fun.
And another, speaking of colorless cards, another colorless card that I wanted to show you is this one. I played the solo to get up the hourglasses for to get a few amount of packs. I read this and I went, what? So I'm just gonna let you read it.
I can't see what we're looking at. Your screen has frozen for me.
Oh, the beware.
Beware. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Just knock anything out for free.
Yeah.
Well, not for free, but for a couple coin flips. It's a what 25% chance to happen.
Yep.
Because you need to get two heads, which
Yeah.
is a 1 in 4 chance.
Yep.
Um, but it's kind of crazy. Just take anything out. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't like coin flips, but I mean, if I want to use a coin flip mon, this would probably be it because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Look at
Three
the card art as
energy,
well.
coin flip, knockout. I'm trying to see all the meta EXs that people run. Guz takes it out in one. Buzz takes it out in one. Tapu Koko
True.
charges quicker than it, so it will be gone before it powers up.
Hmm.
Um, we are not talking about Alolan Duck Trio. And Lycanroc, same amount of energy, does more damage than it. So I guess maybe Lycanroc, but is the new Rockruff going to do any damage while you set up? The new
Mm,
Rockruff does 40. So assuming you know we need 2 energy on it, so you'll do 60 plus 60. Yeah, the new Rockruff also could knock you out before you get a chance. So I
yeah.
don't know.
He you can kind of combine it with the new electrical cord because the electrical cord you have to put energy on an electric mon, but when they get knocked out, you can give one of those two energy to your benched Pokemon, so it doesn't have to be to another electric type
So it
or
splits it
lightning
out,
type.
but it does split it out evenly. So if you only have one in the
Yeah,
bench, I think you only get one energy on the bench, don't you?
yeah. It's not great. It's but Beware is not a great card. But it's funny. And
It's like when all
if you
those
can take
times.
something out with that, like
Yeah,
it
we
will be
used I think
hilarious.
Rotom Fan in one of the earlier
Yeah.
sets. Yeah,
An Aerodactyl, I think. But
yeah,
it's better than those kind of
yeah.
maybe.
When I saw it, I just whoa, because like when you're doing the solo battles, a lot of things where you can't lose a point or you can't do this, or then it was challenging. But I think people are gonna find a way to play around it. 3 energy, high retreat costs,
Yeah.
and it's not just one coin; it's 2 coins. You're gonna knock out a Pokemon one every 4 turns. Once every 4 turns. Even if a
It's
Pokemon
not
does
good.
40 damage, you're doing 160 by then. So you're better off using anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, poor old Beware. Kind of got stunted in Celestial Guardians as well. Which, by the way, I remembered the card that I was thinking of from Celestial Guardians with the coin flips. Serena. Serena is literally
Oh,
just a better
yeah.
Dug
Yeah.
Trio.
It loses you only 1 point, although it is a stage 2, but rare candy is a
Yeah.
thing.
And then
Um,
it only takes 1 energy.
yeah. And then you have also Mallow as beautiful support.
Exactly. Like, get out of here, Alolan Dog Trio. No one wants to use you.
All right. A
Uh,
poor Alolan Duck Trio. I'm not his biggest
yeah, poor
I'm not
card.
Alolan Duck Trio's biggest fan. But like poor thing, right?
Yeah. Not a big fan of the new Luxray. I think the old one's a bit better. A little -20 from attacks is whatever. Zeraora looks kind of cool potentially with the lightning thing. Maybe there's some kind of like fossil deck you could use it in with maybe colorless Aerodactyl. I don't know. Just so you guarantee draw the Zeraora so you can attach an electric energy straight from the energy zone on your first turn. Um, Xurkitree is meh, not a big fan. Don't like it. The fact that there's one fire card in this set is kind of interesting.
Yeah, Blacephalon. Blacephalon is just like glass cannon. Like, I'm gonna do 130 damage, but I'm also gonna take myself down to 30 health when a little basic can come and sneeze on me.
It could be something, maybe. It could be a good cleanup mon, but I don't know. I just don't think it's too good.
Most of the relevant EXs are all 140, aren't they? It gets
Yeah,
Buzzwole in one. It gets Tapu
true.
Koko in one. Lycanroc it doesn't. But Lycanroc needs 3 energy. It doesn't get Guzz, but Guzz can also use its 30 and then drop the energy out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. It's there. Quickly, while we're next to Blacephalon, Mantine right next to it, for
Yeah.
me, worst card of the set. Literally just the most set filler card I've ever seen in my life.
So 2 energy, 50.
2
uh,
retreat cost, 90 HP. There are
oh,
cards that have less retreat cost than this that do the same thing.
it reminds me of Swanna
Yeah, wait,
from.
in fact, just take a look at Mantine for a second.
Yep,
50 damage,
yep,
90 HP, 2
yep,
retreat cost.
yep.
Let's have a look at Zero Aura. 90 HP, 50 damage, 1 retreat cost with an ability. Like, what is the point in Mantine?
And also you're basically getting the retreat cost for free because on if you put it down on your first turn, get the energy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what? Anyway, my rant is over. I'm sorry, Mantine. They did you
Uh,
dirty.
so we found out today cards that Sam hates: Alolan Dugtrio and Mantine.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
there are a few other cards that I wanted to get your take on as well. Repel. What do you think of
Repel.
Repel?
I like it. I like it. It will. I think it really depends on what the meta becomes. If we still see a lot of rare candying into stage twos, Repel is kind of useless, right? If we see a lot of Darktina, Repel's kind of great.
When
It's
I
just
first saw
a
it,
non-supporter,
I kid you not,
non-supporter
I
Sabrina.
thought Sabrina got power crept. I was
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. I didn't read the basic part at first.
yeah, I was like, what? Why would they do this? Why would they completely nullify another card? And then you realize you got to read.
Yeah, I mean, it's the curse of all TCG Pocket players is reading the actual card. You know, how many times have you come up against someone playing online and they try to what's her name, Cynthia, a Garchomp EX? It's like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, doesn't
No,
work,
that's not
does
the
it?
one.
No.
No.
And what else do we have here? What are your thoughts on Beast Wall? Cool item, situational,
Beast Wall,
again,
it's
early
another one of
game.
those ones similar to Beastite. I'd probably chuck one in my deck if I've got like a spare slot, which we don't really have much of anymore. Um, it's a better Adamant for what they called Ultra
Ultra
Beasts,
Beast, yeah.
but then your opponent has to have no points. So if you pull this late game, you're just pointless. I probably won't even use this card to be honest. It's whatever.
And Looker, when I saw Looker, I was like, whoa. But then, what are the use cases that we could get for Looker?
So for me, uh, your deck is 20 cards big, right?
Yeah.
Like, as good as knowledge is about what your opponent is playing, you can't put it in your deck. You can't fit this thing in your deck. There is no way. It's like Rotom decks. Like, it's great to know what your cards are going to be and potentially reshuffling, but there's just so many better things to put in. Like, I'm sorry, Looker, but no one wants to look at you.
I also think that it's a waste of a deck space, and also most people in the TCG Pocket meta, unless you're new and starting off, you generally kind of know what supporters are going to be there.
Yeah, like someone's running a grass deck. Oh, they've got an Erica. Who saw that coming? Someone's running a rare candy stage two deck. Oh, look at that. They've got a Lily. Is it Lily?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Lily, yeah.
It's just it's a fun idea, but I just don't think it's going to be useful.
So do we have any other cards you'd like to take a look at least on the initial
Uh,
reveal?
I like type null Silvally could be fun.
With Gladian, you can
Like
pull out the evolution.
Yep, yep. I mean, you could even do 100 damage with your Sylvally if you use Gladion to get your other card
But you would have to run
on
one
the
one
same
for that
turn.
to work all the time, right? Because if you run two
Yeah,
and two, your Gladion could give you type null. I
I
guess
feel
you
like you kind of want to run what 2 and two Gladions as well with type null Sylvally. I mean, you could just not bother, but I think it would be better with it. Um, type rand Put one random type null Sylvally from your deck into your hand. Yeah. No, I would probably run two, maybe just one Gladion. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's super fun. You could do 120 damage with Sylvally with a red. I feel like that's quite a cool little combo.
I
Um,
don't think that would work, right? Because you would have to play the support on that turn.
if you played a supporter card from your hand during this turn, this attacker does 50 more damage. So combine that with a red,
Oh,
you're good.
you're saying not on the same turn you use Gladion. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Because you're saying pull a player Gladion, so I was like, but you can't use both. Yep. Carry on. My bad.
All good. So yeah, I like Sylvally. I think it could be interesting, and the fact that you've got a supporter card that can help you pull it doesn't hurt. Um, who else is there in this set? Just having a quick look at all the EXs. Obviously, Dugtrio EX is kind of garbage. Guzzlord didn't get a new Water EX. Okay. I've just come across a card that I like, Shinotic. I think that could be really fun.
But it is.
Um,
You could put any Pokemon in your hand, but it's stage one. You're already wasting 2 to 4 slots for it just to see what other
yeah,
Pokemon you're using. Like you said, deck space is a premium in Pocket these days. Would you want like
true.
what 10 to 20% of your deck going to this?
Deck thinning is always helpful though, but then I guess if what's her name, Mars or Red Card are still floating about, it kind of makes Shinotic not as good unless you put your card that you pull straight onto the field as soon as you get it. Um, I don't know. It could be interesting to see if this can do anything. Doesn't Shinotic have a supporter as well? Am I
Mallow,
going
I think. I think
crazy?
Mallow does it for
Yeah,
Shiinotic
Mallow.
and Serena.
So maybe if we get some kind of like psychic cape for Shinotic to make it have 120 HP, you could like continuously pull stuff, and it doesn't even need to be in the active spot. It can be on your bench while you're pulling stuff. So it could do something. But stage ones right now, kind of
They're in a
not that great.
weird spot, right? Because you have to
Yeah,
pull them in order. There's nothing to help you, and there's no huge power from getting. Like for example, even though you have to pull 2 cards for rare candy, the power increase you get from getting your stage two is worth pulling it, right?
yeah, exactly. Now I think there are some other cards in this set, but we've talked about a lot of them so far.
And I think
Um,
with the old cards, like I said, Sabrina could like if you keep running into Dark Tina, you might just not even play Sabrina, use 2 repels, and you could use other supporters in the same turn. I've also
yeah,
told you before Malasada could increase because if you do Malasada plus Lily, you can do 70 as opposed to Pokemon Center Lady giving you just 30. Any other old
true.
cards with changed usage or either ink better usage or worse usage?
Uh, we touched on it before. Decidueye EX might
Mm-hmm.
have some cards that it vibes with pretty well here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't really had too much time to think. I think um, what's his face, Solgaleo and Guzzlord could have a good bit of synergy, but we'll see. Maybe that's just me trying to make it work.
The
No,
Solgaleo
I don't
in
know.
you.
Yeah, the lion in me. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see how this pans out. This set.
Yeah, it does look very interesting. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. If we have missed out any cards or any of your favorite cards, do let us know and maybe we can bring it up the next time. What
Yeah,
I
chuck it in the
do
comments down below.
Yeah, what I want to look not look touch upon uh, as we're done with all the cards is it has been confirmed that we have a new event. I guess is it next week? Sometime in the future, right?
Yeah, coming soon.
Yeah, and they have a very interesting promo card. We won't really go too much into it, but
Because it's
yeah,
not very good.
yeah, we have the card up on screen right now. But it is Ultra Necrozma EX, 150 HP, dragon, so no weakness. You can do 3 energy for 60. It has the Ultra Beast tag on it, which means it works with our everybody's favorite Lusamine. Um, and then the best attack in the world, Shoegaze, uh, is interesting. It only
It's
does
something.
120 for 4 energy, 2 of each, and you discard top 5. So let's look at it. I'm gonna give you I'm gonna since you love you have great passion for this card. I'm gonna make this quickly for you. Yeah, I'll give you both options, okay? Best case scenario, you draw Ultra Necrozma first up. Your energy goes in order: Psychic, Psychic, Steel, Steel. You have your 4 energy. By that point, unless you masked or red card, your opponent has anywhere between 9 to 10 cards already in their hand, I think. By the time you've attached 4 energy to this Pokemon.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. Assuming they didn't pull a Pokeball, double Professor's Research, by the time you have 4 energy, how much of your opponent's deck is going. I guess unless your opponent bricks like really badly and they didn't get anything in their first, I guess by the time it's ready, maybe 10 to 12 cards, then you do something. And then setting it up, I've floated the idea around with you before, right? Where you use Dialga, Lunala, and then run Mono Steel, set up the Giratina, um, and then once the Giratina gets knocked out after you swing for 130, you Lusamine up the energy, or just run Steel Energy Giratina without the Dialga itself, right? Attach the Steel Energy to
It's
Ultra Necrozma, charge, attach, charge, swing for 130 or knock your Giratina out, and then, yeah, it's just, as I'm speaking, it must be really hard for anyone to follow. So that shows how crazy this card is to make it work. That being said, I would like to see it work, but we also know promo cards, they are known for not being meta defining, meta
no.
changing, because it's a limited time event and not everyone can get it.
Yeah, it's overcomplicated. And honestly, I think people deserve some kind of medal in game for getting this thing to use shoegaze.
I'm sure there
It's
will
something.
be, and that could be a rogue Ultra Necrozma deck that somehow sets up shoegaze that we're not seeing because we haven't put much thought into it. Somehow sets up shoegaze by like turn 2. uh,
You are dreaming, I'm afraid.
we never know what could
I don't know.
happen. I mean, the other promo cards that are coming out are the Zeraora card that you love the artwork of.
Oh
Uh,
my god, I think that's maybe my favorite artwork. I think it
let's
just
give it
looks
let's
so
give it a look.
dynamic,
Give it a look. Look at that. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
fantastic.
Yeah, I guess that will motivate us to use more Zeraora decks.
I think I
Um,
pulled a Zero Aura as well, so that'll be my second one. Once is it like the turn of the as soon as next month comes round, we'll get this
I
for
think
using premium.
so. I
Yeah.
think so. I don't want to. I'm not. I think I read it somewhere. I'm not 100% sure. And the
Oh
last
yeah, it
two.
says premium shop lineup in
All right.
June. So yeah.
And the last two cards that are with this event, which will be new, I think there's also an Ultra Beast drop event coming out. So I think it's a mix of all. I'm not sure what comes where, so don't quote me on this if I'm wrong. But Dawn Wings Necrozma and Dusk Main Necrozma, again, they don't look great because 3 energy, 100. This Pokemon also does 30 damage to itself for 110, 2 retreat
Yeah, I mean
cost.
we thought the same thing about was it Origin Palkia and Origin Dialga? They looked whatever, but maybe
No,
these
but
guys
Origin
could do
Palkia
something.
didn't do it to itself, and Origin Palkia had Manaphy Ramp and Misty Ramp.
Yeah,
This one has Lunala ramp, but to
true.
set up Lunala, you might as well set up energy on Necrozma yourself.
Yeah, it's not ideal. They're not great, but maybe someone can cook something up with them.
And then Dusk main is again 3 energy, and you discard energy. Like I said, it just Pocket is so quick paced. We don't want discarding it. We struggle with Guzzlord and the new TRGs and Beedrill. We don't want to discard our own energy, do we?
No,
Yeah,
he's not great.
yeah. He is not too great. But I'm excited. It's a good time to be a Pokemon Pocket fan. Um,
For sure.
And yeah, I think we have covered all the cards
Pretty
that we want to.
much. I mean, well, not everything. We haven't gone into full detail of every single card coming out, but there's a lot to cover.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll pick up some of the ones that we didn't next time.
yeah. And by then
Um,
we might have more meta usage. We might have also had first-hand experience with the cards.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Quite really
I think
quickly
that's gonna be
then.
it.
Really quickly. What is your favorite card from the set? Could be
We're
favorite
talking
in
art.
artwork, could be favorite
Okay.
in usage, uh, just favorite in general. And then I'm not going to ask you your least favorite because we know what it is. Um, but yeah, your most favorite, fun, interesting card.
I think art style. I don't. Maybe this is just because I pulled it. I like Lycanroc EX Rainbow. I think it looks cool. Or maybe, well, maybe even this is a random one, but shiny Greninja is pretty sick. Even though we hate shinies here. And then best like for competitive usage, probably Doug Trio EX. Yeah,
I was like, for a second, I was like, huh?
yeah. I'd probably
uh,
say Guzzlord. I'm going to stick with that. We'll see. We'll see.
I want to say
How about you?
Buzzball, but because I've pulled the immersive, so I want it to be good. Like I'm
Hmm,
willing it
hmm.
to be good. And in terms of artwork, probably this Tapu Koko rainbow looks kind of cool. Uh,
The Coco Rainbow. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And here's the Lichen Rock earlier we were talking about. That looks good too, I guess. Um, but
It just reminds me of my dog. Right?
I don't really care for the shinies. And
No,
the goal is the jellyfish as well, which is interesting. The first, I think, non EX gold card we've had, so that's fun.
non-EX, non-supporter. Yeah,
Yeah,
be yeah, it's a weird one. I don't know why it's not an EX. But yeah, I'm into it. I like the design.
yeah, that's yeah. I think I want to see how the meta shapes up. What we're gonna play. I know we covered up mainly the big EXs, one or two cards we thought would be meta relevant. I can't really say much because again we haven't played, we haven't we just know from what we see and from our experience in the game, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
And
We're going off vibes at the moment.
yeah, exactly. And just a little bit of knowledge, right? A little bit.
Just a little bit. Just
Yeah.
a teensy bit.
And I think that about does it for today. I that does it, Sam.
Yeah, I think that does. So thank you to everyone that has listened to this. We really appreciate it. If you guys could leave, the drill, a like, a comment, it really does help us out.
You can comment
Um,
on whose take seemed the wildest take, best take, and
mhm.
interesting take.
Yeah, and give us your favorite cards from this set, the ones you're most interested in. Just whatever you think. Like,
Yeah, so it could be
the
for
worst cards, the
vibes.
best cards, whatever you like.
Exactly.
Yeah. And thank you for listening. We guess
And
we'll
we'll
see you next
catch
time.
you next time. Yeah. Until then, have a great rest of your time zones, guys, and catch you in the next episode. Bye.
Peace.